Listen up, partners. This is Good, Bad, Ugly on World Improv Network.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alex.
And I'm David.
And we're your astute win counselors. Get you through the week with any problems you may be facing or any daily grind issues you want us to resolve for you whatsoever. Let's get to our first winner. Our first winner is Carrie, and she hails from Miami, Florida. And she writes, Dear Win, I've been having so many bad customer service experiences lately. Any ideas for what to do about this epidemic? Dave, what do you think about that? All across the board, she's having bad experiences, which, of course, I can relate to.
Yeah, I relate to that as well, Carrie. I think there is no such thing as customer service anymore. And then what? Okay, here's what drives me nuts. Fake customer service, like I am going to be so helpful to you, and that a memo went out. I'm not going to say which store you go into, but every employee you walk past, they're like, "Hey, can I help you find something?" And it's just like, then you get sick of them being over nice, but it's just based on a memo. It's not true, heartfelt, like some of the coffee shop chains try to pretend like they're interested in your life. But however, right before here tonight, I went to a grocery store chain, and they're doing the same thing, but I actually believed her. Like she cared about my life and what I was buying and the green drink that I purchased. I actually wanted to talk about that.
So she didn't come across like disingenuous like those other guys. Like, how's the weather? How's the weather? You don't really care.
No, this place I went to, they actually must do in-depth training.
Very cool.
And I think they just fire people if they're not believable.
Now, do you have like a one customer experience in, let's say, the last 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, that's just the absolute worst? That you just like, this is inexcusable. I can't believe these people are even in business.
So there have been so many, but I actually, this is kind of like a third party thing, but I went into a coffee chain place, and I know it was this girl's first time who was delivering the beverage, multiple beverages to this person. I'm just protecting the guilty here. So, and this person was so rude to this girl who was behind, and just being demanding. And I'm like, I know she couldn't say anything because she'd lose her job. So the third party, stepped in, and I can't use exploitives, but I told this woman, I said, you know what? I said, you don't have to be such a bleepity bleep to this girl because she's just trying to do her job.
Right.
And I had a little more force behind my voice. And this woman just had a fit because someone called her on her behavior. That's the point of this, Carrie. We've got to call people on their inappropriate behavior.
Good point.
Yeah, so the woman ran out, left her drinks there, and they all cheered, and I'm like, bless you,
and
my
you
child.
Because you brought chivalry back, and you called her out on her BS, so to speak.
Yeah, and the poor girl couldn't. She was probably 18, first job.
Right.
And this woman just being
So basically, Carrie, you got to call people out on their horrible service and behavior.
Yeah. And you don't even have to say, when you do this, it makes me feel this. Just
I tell you what, I've had this ongoing, absolutely horrendous customer service experience since August of last year. It has been going on for every single month. And again, I won't throw anybody on the bus, but it's a link to something that happened in this century. And every month I call in with the same issue. It's a billing issue.
Oh yeah.
And they keep promising that they're going to resolve it. And the next month, they give me reference numbers. They put me through the billing department, the management, to the finance people, everybody, tech, you name it. And they all say, yeah, promise this will never happen again. Next month, same problem. Call in every month, same problem. Supervisor numbers, reference numbers, blah, blah, blah. Same problem. Letters in the mail, it's been resolved. Same problem even happened 8 days ago. I can't believe that they have a link to this century and that they're still in business. Unbelievable. Well, let's go to Tim. Tim from Denver, Colorado writes, Dear Win, I had a chow named Ming. What would your name of your chow would be or your dream dog? Wow, what would you name your chow or your dream dog?
So I'm assuming chow is a dog.
Chow, yeah, it's a
dog.
breed.
Tim here.
It's
so
chow.
what would I name my dream dog, animal, chow, if I had a chow? I'd like to be unique. And I would probably name my next dog Pilfer.
Oh, that's a cool name. That's unique. And why? Why Pilfer?
Because it's unique.
Oh, fair enough.
And I was put on the spot here. So, I actually, and so growing up, we had some friends. They named their dog Diogi.
Uh-huh.
Think about it. I loved it. And
that's cool.
So I just think anything unique, we don't want to go with this spot. Thing.
Right. Don't want to do Spot, Fred.
I wouldn't name your dog Cieti.
You wouldn't?
Because that would have you'd have to call the dog Whisperer because it'd have identity issues.
My brother just got a new puppy, and he picked maybe the most basic name ever for a dog. So if you're out there listening, Chris, I'm sorry, but you did. I would, however, go with, I don't know, maybe like, what'd be a good name?
Pugy.
Pugy?
Pug.
Oh, that's so cute. I don't know. I would go some off the wall name like Schlitzenfluger or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's nice.
or Farfignugan would be a good name because
How about Schlitzenfluger Farfignugan?
Schlitzenfluger Farfignugan.
Diogi.
Diogi.
Pugy.
Bugy would be the middle name. Diogi would be the hyphenated like extension when you see like Mary Henderson Smith of Dubuque.
Dash.
Yeah.
Fleifenuger.
Right.
Could be the confirmation name.
That and exactly. And then if you break it down, and I would make sure that it comes into some kind of acronym, right?
Right.
And it would be like flake or like sit or like
Oh, so it ties into a command.
Yep. So then I could just
Like
literally
eat.
like poop. And that would be the acronym for its full name.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I would go with there. Tim.
Yo.
Yep. Think about when you get your next chow, Tim. And I hope Ming is doing well or did well as long as you had him. Let's go to Miriam from Rotterdam, Holland. And Miriam writes, Dear Win, with so many people identifying themselves as something else these days, do you think race, gender, or even species are just becoming pointless social constructs? Now, that's a pretty deep question.
That's deep.
But she has a good point there. I mean, you got like now classification-wise, you got like 7 or 8 different classifications on what you can be as a human being, right? And I think you can even be trans race, now that if you, who was that lady who just got called out on it? But she said that her whole life she identified herself as African American. She claimed to be African American. She, wrote down on her application to colleges and jobs and stuff that she's African American. She has none in her whatsoever. And then when they called her out on it, she said, well, that's how I identified myself from a young age. So therefore, I'm African American. So, that's the way she identifies herself. So I guess she's African American, even though she's paler skinned than you, Dave.
Yeah. Hey, Miriam. Say hi to all my friends in Holland. And I need to come over there and get some shoes sometime. So
some clogs?
Some
Dutch clogs, Dave? Is that what you're looking for?
I am. I was going to say something, but I edited it in my brain, so that's why it didn't come out my mouth. So well, this is a good point, and we're just going overboard with the PC stuff.
Yeah.
So we're all human beings, and I actually had this conversation with some people I was working with down at the food truck the other day, and I don't work at a food truck. But we were talking about, I think, someone was going to do Ancestry.com.
Right.
And it's a little pricey. I'm like, well, I don't need to spend that much just to figure out we're all related.
Right.
I think if you trace us back far enough, we're all pretty much related.
To a starfish.
Yeah, we're humans. We're human beings, We're all struggling on this planet, I think if we have a lot of spare time, I could make an issue out of everything. And
what about a species? What about relating to a new species? I even saw a show on this where people identify themselves as a piece of furniture or a different species altogether. So they think they're a dog, or they think that they're a cockatoo, or they think that they're a dresser, or an armoire.
We've all been everything. I was a copperhead penny in my last life. I believe me, I know that to be a fact because
Do you know the date was on that penny?
42. Because it was the kind that color. Like come in like a silvery color. 43. I think it was 43 that there were 4 pennies that were silver.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I've got this horrible allergy to just weird copper that's not pure.
And that's because you were
there. I was me. That was me. I was copper. I was a penny.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't my head.
Yeah. I was a piece of space rock in my past life. Because every time I look at a clock, it doesn't matter if it's in the morning or night, it's always 4:44. And it's been like this forever. I mean, forever. If I look at a clock, it says 4:44 forever. That's right. And it doesn't matter. I'll roll over. Oh, I can't sleep. 4 in the morning. Bam. It's the time. 4:44 in the afternoon. Why am I looking at the clock? No idea. But it's 4:44. And that has to do because that was my quadrant on the moon. And I was a rock. That was on that quadrant right there.
We are all related because I was 666.
Oh.
I used to wake up at 666
really?
Every morning. And that's because the quadrants of the atmospheric endocrinanium gases all arrange in 666. And it's not a devil thing. It's just the way the gastric intestinal juices of the earth flow in outer space.
The that makes total sense. I mean, it's almost like a big ball of gastrointestinal juice like the sun, right? It's spitting out solar
Yeah,
juices.
I mean, the atmosphere is us. We are, like, if you do reflexology, like the head of your foot down to the bottom of your foot is your whole body.
Wow.
Yeah, just translate over to the universe. We are space.
We are space. Oh, okay. So you think basically we should just get rid of this whole, gender, race, even species thing? It's just a social construct that's pointless, that Miriam was asking if that's the case or not. Or should we get some sanity back into life and say, no matter what, you're still a guy, you're still a girl, or you're still the dog, you're not an elephant, you weren't a copper penny, you weren't a space rock or some gastrointestinal space fluid, in your past life that was 666. You were just what you are right now, and this is what you're going to be. And then when you die, maybe you'll be something else, but during the time that you're alive, you're not going to transition into an armoire or an elephant or a Venus flytrap.
Yeah, so we're going deep. So, Mary, so we're all energy. Physics tells us this, you
Right.
know, that energy doesn't disappear; it just changes form. So we're all just energy.
And then that should be the only classification then.
Yeah.
On your birth certificate should just say energy.
Energy.
Done. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And we have one more little piece of inspiration to get you to the rest of the week, known as Horoscope Corner.
Love, fortune, status. Let us do your astrological chart. Horoscope Corner on World Improv Network.
Hey, Aries, it's your week. And guess what, Aries? It really is Aries time. This is the Aries time of year. But you know what? I got to tell you something, Aries. There's something you got to watch out for. If you get an email for the next week and you have the inclination to forward that email, restrain. We're talking about restrain here because if you forward that email, bad stuff's going to happen. All you got to do is watch out this for a week. So midnight next Sunday, you can start forwarding those emails, Aries, but don't do it now. The other thing here, I got some great news for you. You need to go out and get yourself a little Ziploc bag. If you can't get a Ziploc bag, then use some saran wrap or something plastic and go buy yourself some potting soil. Put a pinch of potting soil in that plastic bag, carry it around in your pocket, and you are going to have the greatest week ever. In short, I'm just saying, hey, potting soil is your friend this week. Carry it around in your right pocket. Don't do the left one. I don't care if you're left-handed or not. Keep it in your right pocket. You're going to have good luck all week long and avoid forwarding those emails. Hey, join us for the World Improv Network on AM 1340, FM 104.7, on Facebook at World Improv Network, Twitter at World Improv Net, on YouTube at World Improv Network, iTunes and Google Play Podcasts at World Improv Network. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Win on Mile High Sports Radio. Don't forget to be a winner and interact with the cast by sending your suggestions or questions for each show segment throughout the week by hitting them up on Facebook at World Improv Network, on Twitter at World Improv Net, or by calling into the Mile High Sports Radio studio line on Sundays before or during the show.